All right, and away we go with another episode of Braver, Newer, Worlder. It is Tuesday, May 5th, the year of the apocalypse coming. I hate to keep saying it, but I've been saying it since 2016. We're edging closer and closer, so here it is.
Cinco de Mayo
Fellas,
for our south of the border friends and drinkers around the world.
Cinco de
At least-
Mayo and Taco Tuesday on the same day. There are a lot of drunk Latinos right now.
Yeah, I love it.
And a lot of probably drunk maggots who are usurping the entire holiday and behind their back calling them nasty things.
Exactly. We need to kick them all out of our country and don't need them here. But we'll
While you're
appropriate
here,
people.
go ahead and get my burrito. Yeah, while
Enjoy
you're
it.
here.
Enjoy it for now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, how are you doing? How was first, how are you doing?
Doing well. And you were getting ready to ask about this past weekend, I think.
I was gonna say, how was the weekend for you? I know you're a big fan of the horses.
Not nearly as big as I used to be, but of course, Kentucky Derby is my holiday. I had one big wager. So the horse I liked that I was betting in all my wagers was Chief Wallaby. Finished fourth, so really nothing to write about there. No excuses. He was fourth best.
Wait, was a horse no excuses?
Right. He just was fourth best.
Wait, no, I mean like you had the horse and then no excuses was another horse. Like no excuses placed third.
Now, who's on first?
What but what's on second?
There
will
was
be
no
here
horse
for
called-
a fucking day if I get it.
There was
on
no
this.
horse called No Excuses.
we
Okay,
were
good.
we were compared to the Three Stooges, not Abbott and Costello.
Exactly. There you go.
And that's the only feedback I saw, by the way. I looked for more negative feedback.
Come on, haters, man.
I know.
Nothing worse than a lazy hater.
Right. Yeah.
But my biggest takeaway-
Please.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from Kentucky Derby, I did have my other horse was the long shot that set the pace. He led for a mile. You guys race, you guys bike, and you ran cross country, so you guys know that pace makes the race, right?
Yo.
Well, my long shot, I figured he was going to be the pace setter, but I didn't figure him to set an insane pace. And just all the pace setters, the top four finished like 6th, 8th, 13th, and last. I mean, they just wore themselves out.
So he was almost like a decoy.
He gave me a cheap thrill for a mile. He was my 11.
And this is a
11
two mile
grand.
race? Is the Kentucky Derby
Mile
a
and a
2 mile?
quarter.
Mile and a quarter?
And you led for a mile. So,
And
you
but
led
then
for-
he just died. Well, he came in fourth, but still.
No,
Yeah.
he came in like 12th, whichever one of those.
So he did just fall off the earth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But my biggest takeaway from the weekend, and this is why I've quit, my handle, the amount I bet every year, has dropped by like 90% for this one main reason. The tracks have started letting late money into the pools. So horse racing is pari-mutuel wagering, which means we bet amongst ourselves. You're not betting against the house.
Mm-hmm.
You're all betting into the pool. However much money goes into one horse, that horse's odds decrease because more money is bet on it. All right. Well,
Okay.
lately, there are these people, and the acronym is CAW, C-A-W, Computer Assisted Wagering. So these guys with big money, they have these computer programs, and they set them up. They say, all right, program, look for value on the horse at the last second and place tons of money at the very last second. Well, you can probably imagine what's happening is the race will have started. And let me look at this prime example from this weekend. All right, so the horse going into the gate was 12-1.
Going
And
into
we're
the
talking-
gate. We are staging this race.
We're ready to go.
We're ready
Betting
to
at this
go.
point should be done.
Betting should be over.
So at this point, there is a total of $3.6 million bet to win on all the horses combined in that race.
Got it.
That horse has $220,000 bet on him to win, which amounts to 6% of the total amount of the horses.
What'd you say? At about a 5-1 shot?
He's 12-1,
He's at 12-1. Okay.
almost
he's a long
closer
shot.
to 13-1. Funny you should say 5-1, because a minute later, the race is halfway over. A minute later, he's 5-1.
Get out of here. Because somebody
Damn.
dumped a bunch of money.
That's what they're saying.
They
They're
have to. It's the only
saying-
way it moves.
Well,
How else does it move?
I mean, it certainly looks like people still were betting after the race started, is the way it looks. But no matter how you spin it, That's been going on. That's the worst example I've ever seen.
Well,
but that's just
I've heard that horse racing in general is a pretty crooked sport because it's real easy to fix, not at the Kentucky Derby level, but you can go to an OTB, you can go to a regular track all day long and pay a jockey a couple $100 to pull back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
and
Like,
I've seen
it's
examples.
just one of the easiest. I mean, so many fucking sports are so easy to fix. That's why hockey's so goddamn amazing. I've said it once, I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Not trying to hijack the whole podcast here, but hockey's fucking the best.
I'll definitely take hockey over horse racing when it comes to that.
Braver, newer, hockeyer.
Yeah. So, well, that's shitty. And I hate all of that. And I hate because it's like, it's insipid now. It's like, I have not been a loyalist sports fan since I was a hardcore alcoholic because those two things went hand in hand. Like winning, losing, and drinking are like the greatest thing ever, right? So once I gave up hardcore drinking, I kind of gave like, well, fucking Steelers don't pay me to do this. So what do I give a shit? They win or lose. So I have watched for the last 15 years, I have watched from a very different perspective
Same here.
all the sports. I don't get nearly as attached. But when I started seeing like DraftKings is the official sports bettor, I'm like, wait, time out. Like, wait, you're the official what of what now?
No. Yeah.
Like, I took a nap and I came back and Las Vegas was all over sports. Like there were teams in Vegas. They're like
And the Super Bowl in Vegas.
the Super Bowl's in Vegas. There's real time betting. Like a guy steps up to the fucking plate in baseball, and there are odds like right on the side of the screen. Bet now. If this guy's like, you have got to be kidding me. And sports betting's the worst. Like it is, that algorithm is programmed for your extinction. Like it will suck every dollar you have. That is
Yeah.
not like sitting down at the craps table. That's not like drinking, going off OTB betting, you know.
And now
This
we
is
have
all-
these predictive markets for stuff like presidential elections.
But
And
doesn't,
when will a bomb be dropped?
isn't that more of the type of betting that you were just describing? Because you're not
Yes.
betting against the house. You're just, everyone's just saying whether or not they think it'll happen.
It's a very close analogy.
It's
yeah.
really close to that, right?
Which is
So
like I don't ever I don't have any problem with gambling or betting per se, as like anything else, right? With consenting adults, like it's all good, right? Whoever's consenting, that's amazing. But like, I mean, I feel like the especially with the sports betting and stuff, with everything that's going on with all these sports and like the official betting sponsor of the NHL or the NFL, like you're not, it's not just like two friends like us three saying like, hey, I think that that horse is going to win this race and betting. It's kind of, you're being, not you, but like the general populace is now being preyed upon by whatever, whoever's owning these things, because they know, like you said, with sports betting, it's predatory. It's not like, it's not, yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I've spent some time in casinos across the country. Sports betting is the easiest money they've ever made, and they welcome it. Like it is poker. I love poker. You guys know that. That's my game, and it's like their least favorite game because they make the least amount of money on it. Like, right? It's hard. It's slow. Blah blah blah. The action can be slow. All this and
They
that.
get a little bit of the rake, right?
Oh, they certainly do, but it's not the biggest moneymaker. Like you, plus you're only making a rake. You can make 35% on like Caribbean poker, those table games. Man, they pay off huge for the house. They're fun. Don't get me wrong, and people win. They're great carnival games, but they're not a great investment. But the minute sports betting became a thing, that was the biggest area in the casino, like immediately. And it was the busiest because any idiot can do it because,
Well, behind the slots, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Slots,
know.
yeah.
I bet it probably took over pretty quickly, man. That was, like it was so big. It's so exciting. People get into it. Like, right.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to say, like what it sounded like that dude was doing, whoever was gaming the system there, and that it sounded like a bigger version of the MIT blackjack
Mm-hmm.
team back in the day, whatever, 25, however many years ago, when they they counted cards, but it's the easiest thing to fucking do in the world when you give it. It's just a +1, -1, and it's a real easy thing. So when they saw that the shoot was in their favor, that's when they called in the big hitter and they put in the big bet, because that's the only way you can make money is if you see the odds in your favor and you bet a shit ton of money at that moment.
Against that.
Otherwise, you're just grinding. You know,
On a similar note to the MIT blackjack scandal was the Pick Six scandal at the Breeders' Cup, which is like the Olympics of horse racing, but it's every year. I don't know. It was like 20 years ago. These guys hacked into the tote system. So the tote system is, let's say, the software that handles all the money from all the tracks and feeds it into the pool for each race.
be a good place to hit if you were going to fucking steal some money.
So one
Sounds
of
like
them hacked it.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So we're talking about 6 races, back to back to back to, 6 races in a row. Well, they waited till after 4 races had been run. So now they send in their bet with, of course, the single winner of those first 4 races. And now they bet all the horses in the last race and all the horses in the last race. So they're guaranteed winner. Are you following me so far?
I think so.
So they've got the 4 winners already because they cheated. And now for the last 2 legs of the 6 races, they've bet all the horses. So they have all the combinations covered now. In those last 2 legs, Insane Long Shots won. And now they're going, oh, fuck. Because they know the payout is going to be so extraordinary, and they know their tickets, and they know their tickets going to be studied. They did get busted. They were busted.
I love stories of scamming and people trying to scam because there's so much energy put into it, right? Those dudes did a lot of thinking. Like,
yeah, they did. And they knew when those long shots hit, they're like, oh, fuck, we're going to be in trouble here.
Yeah, they would have been way better off if some 4 to 5 to 1s hit and they just walked away from the day.
Yeah,
for sure. It wouldn't have been
if it paid $1 million, people might go, okay, wow. But when it paid more like 10 million, okay, wait.
Yeah. And you hit all.
Yeah.
What we kind of brought up Polymarket there. What do you all think about that? The U.S. soldier that made the $400,000 off betting on that shit on betting on stuff to make that money.
Yeah.
Is that?
I didn't dig in. I didn't dig in beyond the headline on that one, but I did see it a couple places. Right.
Recap the headline for us.
So I mean, it's Gannon Ken Van Dyke allegedly made more than $400,000 trading on Polymarket on the basis of classified information regarding the timing of the U.S. military operation to capture Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela.
Okay, so the words you said there, classified information, should make that a crime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should make that a crime.
Should.
Okay.
It should. It should. I mean, like, this is where I kind of, and this is I'm going to make a stance, but I don't really fucking care about the stance that I'm making, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, this guy used classified information to make himself $400,000. He really didn't give away any information, right? He used classified information to make himself personal profit. But unless somebody very, very savvy in Venezuela noticed and knew that his bet was indicating that the operation was imminent, which would be hard to do, but unless they knew that, like, he didn't give anything away. I'm equating this to, like, the Pelosi's or anyone in the but just the Pelosi's, because fuck the Pelosi's, but anyone in the government who's using classified information to make stuff happen. Insider trading. That's kind of the way I view this. So my position is, like, I don't care about it, or I do care about it based on what do we accept as, like, what information is available for you to make decisions upon.
So, right? Valid. Totally give you that. And it actually makes me think of Pete Rose. Like, right? Like, you'll never convince me that man bet to, like, affect the outcome of the game one way or the other. And yes, I don't think anyone in Congress, it's fucking shitty that those people actually have stock portfolios and any one of them. I don't care what fucking letters after their name. That is just shitty. And I get what you're saying. I would have probably done the same thing. I would have been smart enough to have somebody else put it in their fucking name, and it would have been my name.
Well, he is a soldier, right? He's
And but the thing is, if he used the classified information, I can't be for that. He's gonna have to pay the price if he was using classified information. And if you use it to profit off of it, that's my opinion. Like, it can't just be the cost of doing business. You have to give whatever you made back. That's my opinion.
fair.
So
Fair.
otherwise, I would have done the same fucking thing. I know I would have. Like, I'm sitting here going, yep, as you're saying that, I'm going, I would have done the same goddamn thing. I would have put it in someone else's fucking name. Like,
Right?
No one would have heard about that shit.
That's the guy's fucking
So,
crime. It's not being
totally
more
valid.
sneaky about it.
Well, I mean, not to get on a soapbox or anything, but it's a lot easier to justify that shit when the government's blatantly fucking breaking the law day in and day out.
Did you see there's a guy, and I haven't fact checked it, but I mean, all the numbers add up as far as I'm concerned. Like, he's an accountant, and somebody, like, he did a thing, and somebody said, well, that's not true. Like, compare it to Nancy Pelosi. And so he did a comparison of like how much the Trump family has made versus the Bidens versus the Pelosi's. And it looks like a lot, but when you scale them next to each other at a 1-to-1 ratio, like, literally you can't see the profit from Biden or Pelosi, but the profit from the Trump family is just off the chart.
Yeah. They're
What's the
simply
problem?
stealing the money. They're just
stealing the
all
money.
the money.
Yep,
Like, every
stealing
way they
money.
possibly can. Yeah, money is just disappearing. Like, all of a sudden the ballroom's $1 billion, right?
Right, we
And-
went from 200
million
taxpayer free. 200 million that was going to be donated to, well, 300 million taxpayer free to, well, 400 million to now 1 billion, and we're now footing the bill for it.
And he's given private no bid contracts to friends, which he's getting kickback. I mean, it's just the shittiest, shadiest shit ever, and they're doing it in the fucking open.
I will say, like, I don't want to pay for a fucking goddamn ballroom with my tax dollars that I don't pay a bunch because I'm very small, but like, I don't want my tax dollars to go to that shit. But like, I don't know where I was going with that. Fucking stoner fucking thought a second. But I said the fucking it kind of makes sense. I will give him a little bit of a credit with this fucking thing the fiasco we had at the correspondence dinner, and like the fiasco with the security that they had having at the hotel. Like, it is possible to give them the benefit of the doubt, although this wasn't foreseen or anything. But like, why not have a place to have events for these grand state affairs and stuff that is not at a third party like a Hilton hotel? It's actually held at a government building where it's very easily to control the access points and who's showing up. You don't have just random hotel guests. That's one of the kind of, this argument has been applied to it, I feel like, retroactively. Like, this argument wasn't made ahead of time before all this stuff happened, right? Like, oh, we're having these balls at these unsecured places, and there could be assassination attempts, so we need to have a ballroom that's dedicated for us. Like, if they were making that argument ahead of this, cool, but they're not. They're making it after the fact, which is kind of a good point. I mean, because again, I would say I don't agree with any assassination attempts on any American president, whether I agree with them or not. So I just, to be clear about this whole thing,
I wasn't, but I don't know. I'm rethinking some things. I was like, the same way Erica Kirk was like, before her, I was like, there really is no wrong way to grieve. And I was like, well, bitch, you fucking had to just go and do that, didn't you? Like, I don't know. Things are a little out of control right now. I'm willing, look, and I'm not, whatever, fuck it. It's all parody and comedy. They were, the other side was talking about real Second Amendment solutions when there was a black dude in a fucking tan suit, man. And this is, we're so far beyond that now. We're, so yeah, I'm not for any assassination attempts that don't go off without a hitch. How's that?
No, violence is not the solution. I will stand on that.
I mean, sometimes it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Apparently.
was talking to some friends about like he didn't want to go to France for a vacation. He's not a big fan. I was like, gotta hand it to the French, man. When their fucking upper class gets a little too out of hand, they just drag them into the street and cut their fucking heads off until they start acting right again. Like,
Let
right?
them eat. Let them eat cake.
I respect that from a populace.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah. No, I mean, I do too. And I think that was part of a very, very, very small portion of the population for the January 6th event, that insurrection. There is a time and a place, and even I will agree with it. There is a time like America breaking away from the British. There's a time and a place where we may have to stand up and revolt against the powers that be to get something done. Was January 6th, 2020 the time? No, not. Right. But there was a small group of people who believed it was the time to do that. Like for a reason,
They were led to believe that by one individual.
And they were
led and encouraged.
certainly poked and prodded in ways and encouraged, and then totally let off the hook for their actions.
Yeah.
And nothing about that did I,
Right.
in any
let
way
off the
was
hook and then paid off with a job here, a job there.
blanket pardons for fucking more pedophiles and terrible people who have since done more fucking terrible things just because he's going to need them again. Like, this is the only thing I respect about this is how goddamn transparent it is. Like, and it has
Gangster.
been, like, right. It's, I mean, like, you've pulled the fucking like ultimate Kaiser Sose here, man. I don't know what to do with this. Like, I mean, like, now you see some of the MAGA starting to see the error of their ways, and they want this like instant retribution and forgiveness. I'm like, bitch, sit in your fucking diaper for a minute. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, not yet. I'm not ready to fucking just be like blanket pardoning all y'all right now. Because I was screaming about this shit in 2016, and y'all were calling me a fucking wacko. So just back up a little bit.
Yeah. Did you see I just popped up on the Instagram feed, the People News not People News, People Magazine interview with Donald Trump in 1997, saying, I would run for president. I will run as a Republican because those are the people who are the stupidest people and the easiest to fool.
Yeah. I mean, you could play it for them all day long, and they'll be like, he's a real smart feller.
He called it out and did it.
Do you have that pulled up right now? If so, pop it into chat or text
No,
chat.
I was pulling out something else. I was pulling out something else. But no, I've seen that clip several times. Like, yeah, he absolutely fucking said that shit. I was pulling up the clip where the fucking Onion bought InfoWars.
Wait, the Onion bought it?
The Onion bought InfoWars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, now I can go to InfoWars and know that at least I can smile and laugh about what I see, as opposed to going like, this is just trash. Although, to be fair, it seems like a lot of the shit since the Epstein files have come out, the fucking InfoWars people were talking about, they were sprinkled in. I still don't believe it all, but there's some sprinklings across the top of that.
That tends to happen sometimes, but like when you start your fucking conversation with pedophile pizza rings on the other side of Mars, you lose a lot of credibility. Just saying, like,
Right,
like
lizard
right out
people,
of the gate,
and
you kind of lost me. You lost a lot of credibility.
which is
That's a word that doesn't get fucking enough credit. Is credibility. like for real. Like, everything's just like. You're supposed to believe all these fucking sources, and you're just supposed to how many sources do you have that you feel are credible on the internet? Like, your go-to for credibility, less than 5.
For a lot of
1 or
people,
2%.
And now everybody's using AI, and it's ludicrous.
And that's hitting at about 80% maybe.
The best example, I think I might have mentioned this to you. The best example I saw recently was someone on purpose typed into whatever ChatGPT, whatever they were using, said, hey, my car wash is 200 meters away. Should I walk or drive?
You should stay in your house. That's what you should do. You should never leave your house again.
He was doing it on purpose to test.
Sure, to see what. That's awesome.
And the answer was, well, Josh, if it's only 200 meters away, you should just walk.
No, but I say that because, Alex Jones might have hit on a morsel of truth now and again, but the fucker had no credibility. I mean, it's like Bill O'Reilly or Glenn Beck doing his shit with yarn and strings and things. Like, man, if you have no credibility, then yeah, like you gotta try harder to get people to believe you, because it's like yeah, if 97% of scientists say that climate change exists and 3% don't, that means the 3% get to speak after every 97 people talk. Like, right, then you get to speak, and then 97 people get to talk, and then you three get to speak. Like, right, it's not fucking equal footing in the debate. I'm sorry, that's where we kind of went wrong in a lot of this shit. We went from everyone's entitled to their opinion to everyone's opinion is fucking equal. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah.
No, that's a very good distinction. Everyone is entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is not equal to anyone
Right.
else's
I'm
necessarily.
perfectly able to tell you that your opinion is bullshit and it's non-factual and it's ludicrous, but it's my opinion. Okay, congratulations. Keep it over
And
there.
noted, I will take that into
Noted.
consideration. Thank you. I realize that my opinions are pretty stupid.
It'll be sitting right over here, noted with people's offenses. They were offended. Noted. It's over
Yeah.
there now. Like, right?
Yeah.
It'll be on the shelf.
Right. Fuck them.
No, but that's really where the change in society took place, right? Everyone's opinion was fucking valid all of a sudden. And
it's not just that everyone's opinion is equal, it's that an individual's opinion is equal to those 97 people's opinion.
right.
One is equal to 97.
One dumbass basketball player thinking the earth is flat is now equal to all of science, like, of all times. Like, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. Oh, but you can't disrespect me for my opinion. Oh, very much I can. Very, very much I can.
Yep. I can definitely
will.
disrespect you for your opinions and stuff. Not for your person or who you are or your skin color or your different
Not
you know,
at
other
all.
things like that. Can't disrespect you and should not respect you for that. But you got some stupid fucking ideas and beliefs. I'm gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, I mean, if you think the earth's flat, like, I mean, first of all, if you really think the earth's flat, do you not think CBS would have had a game to, like, race people to the fucking edge of it? Like, come on. You know, there'd already be the edge of the world fucking, amazing race series.
Survivor, edge and back.
Exactly. I mean, they'll exploit everything.
The Ice Wall edition.
So that's funny you say that, because Dawn is rewatching Game of Thrones, right?
Mm.
And it's
Right.
so funny to be at, like, back towards the beginning of Game of Thrones, and
Yeah.
it's early enough where John's on the wall and blah blah blah, and then I just kind of walk in casually, and I see people like, oh, you're about to have a bad life, and shit's about to go bad for you. Oh, like, don't get comfortable with that character.
My sister just recently watched the whole, like, because I've read the books and I watched the
Yeah.
series and stuff. But
Yeah,
like,
you had read the books when I started watching it years ago, and you were doing what I'm doing. Like, you were like, okay, just wait till you see this shit.
I read the first 4 books back to back. Like, literally, first 4, finished the 4th one, and started the first one again and went back through them. They were that good, and I wanted to,
Wow.
like, he's just, George R. Martin did a really, to me, like, the way he wrote and phrased things for the characters, it was just a wonderful experience to read the words. Like, even if I didn't know, even if there was no context almost to what was going on in the characters, just reading the way he wrote and phrased the sentences and structures, to me, was pleasing. It just was. He did a really good job. I wish the son of a bitch would fucking finish the series and write the goddamn end of it. I'm waiting for it.
There is no ending?
There's no ending. He's never finished it. Nope. Never finished it.
So, all right. So help me out with the series. Did it start and stop? Were the 4 books started and stopped?
There are 6 books, and he promised there might be a 7th, but there's at least 6 books. I can't remember if there's a 7th, but he was supposed to promise 1 to finish, and he kind of wrote like the last one, but never wrote the ending for it. It just let it finish on HBO. And I think he's even said, I think you can find, like, he's even said at this point, he's like, I'm not going to finish it. It's over. I'm like,
Well, because HBO kind of finished it for him because it
Yeah.
wasn't finished, right? They just
yeah,
did their own
exactly.
ending.
Yeah, I think because, they pulled him into it because he wrote it. So they pulled him into it. And then he was so busy with the production of the series for HBO, he had no time to write and the timelines and whatnot. So, like, I get I love George R. R. Martin. Like I said, the writing is fantastic. The only reason I'm so angry because it was so fantastic, and I really think HBO fucked up the ending. Even if that's what he wrote for it, fine, whatever. It just was amazing, and I wanted to finish it through him, through his writing. But and the ending in HBO was it was okay. It just wasn't great. I don't know if it maybe as bad as the Sopranos ending, but
See, I love the Sopranos ending. That
which
hurts.
I never saw. I'm just kind of quoting the pop, like the
Yeah, it was. A lot of people didn't like it. Did you watch it, AI?
Just a
I
couple
know it
that
now. I've
So you
heard
didn't-
it, like I know now.
I read that. I thought it was. I actually thought it was brilliant because I had it that it didn't matter what happened in that moment. Like, right? The
Yeah.
only thing that really mattered was that Tony lives his life looking over his fucking shoulder because he
James
chose.
Gandolfini. is
Yeah,
that
because
Tony?
he chose that lifestyle. You never know if you're fucking living or dying when you go into that diner. I thought it was fucking perfect. I thought people were being bitchy. I thought they were artistically incorrect. I thought that choice by was that Chase that wrote that series? I don't know. Fucking brilliant. I loved it.
When you describe it that way, it sounds amazing, and I agree with. Like I said, it wasn't in the HBO thing and the whole series at that time, so I couldn't be. I totally said that statement because there's a
No,
pop
there's a lot of
culture
hate for that.
But the
Almost
way
as
you
much as
describe
for
it,
Lost.
yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Like, yeah, you sometimes it gives something to the imagination, and it makes the point of just like you
Right.
said.
You glance up at some dude, you looks a little suspicious, and then your world goes to black. That's exactly. I was like, that's fucking perfect.
Perfect.
Like, right.
Were people satisfied with the ending of Game
They
of
hate it.
Thrones?
So no, 70 to 80% hated it. I think. Honestly, yeah, they hated it.
In which
I was not one of them.
no,
Now,
wait. You're talking about? Did we switch? Because you were asking about AI. You were asking about Game of Thrones. We'd switched from Sopranos. We'd both
Yes.
switched,
so
right?
now, who was satisfied with the end of Game of Thrones was
Yes.
probably solid, right? I think people were pretty solidly satisfied with the ending. No, I don't. Where do you think
I
it
don't-
stands? 60-40,
It-
50-50?
It wasn't as bad as The Sopranos, but I don't think people were very satisfied with it. And I think it was character based. I think it was the idea of where they thought the characters were going. And spoiler alert, Jon Snow kills Daenerys. But I think people thought that Jon Snow and Daenerys would get together and be a thing and never saw that Jon knew that Daenerys was getting, Daenerys was getting crazy and fucking shit over. And so Jon was like, I'm sorry, but I have to kill you because you're fucking crazy. And he did it. And that's why I think people get mad about it. And I watched the whole HBO thing, and I feel like the very first, the beginning of it was great. It ramped up really well. And then I feel like at the end, it ramped up too fast. There's like someone that's running and falls over themselves, like they just they'd ran too fast without being able to develop it. But George R. R. Martin, the whole storyline, everybody dies. Nobody was safe. It's just like the Gandolfini thing. Like you could wake up and that stranger walking to you had a poison dagger.
That's it, man. Lights out.
I mean, the first book, and that's like I said. So my sister had never read the books or anything, but she decided she's going to watch the whole series on the HBO and like binge watched it, whatever. And I remember getting her text from me like, "Oh my God, they killed so and so. Oh my God, they killed this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
Yep.
Oh my God, who is left?"
My God. They
And
just
she's
killed
like-
half the cast.
4 seasons into it. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
and they're all the rest. All of them, they
Yeah.
could die. Any one of them.
I didn't read the books, but he was obviously a very confident writer.
Yeah.
He's like,
He nailed it.
No
He
problem.
nailed it. It was an interesting show.
Before we came on, sorry, I've been dealing with some respiratory shit for about a week, so I've been really fucked up. I was like thinking about all the crazy shit that's been, going on in the world. And then so I just like typed in like most outrageous news of the week. And I might have to make this a regular segment because this is pretty fucking funny. There's some funny, and there's a lot of it too. Like,
Uh-oh.
right? And it was just like the headlines too. So it's actually kind of funny. Like a humanoid robot won a half marathon in Beijing. A 7-foot alligator was jaywalking in Florida. That's,
That's not surprising. That's in Florida
it's-
standard fare.
an escape
The addition of the word jaywalking.
jaywalking, right? That really
Yeah.
helps. An escaped zebra in Armenia was actually a prank that was just a painted donkey.
My
I know. Go.
For speaking of Cinco de Mayo, my dad, his neighbor Jim Gardner, and the other neighbor Dean Beck for Cinco de Mayo. I don't have the picture, but I could find it. Painted our donkey like a zebra with spray paint, white and black spray paint. I even got a picture of it. My mom was so pissed when she came home. And of course, Dad and everybody, all the neighbors were like, cheers, this is great. Anyway.
Is that not horrible for an animal?
Nah, I
fur
don't
fell out.
know. I remember when we were getting.
He lived for many years after that.
I mean, I know it was an emergency situation, but I remember when we were getting floods around here. Haley was taking horseback riding lessons at this lady down the road, Crystal Creek Stables, and her stables sit in a valley, and she spray painted her phone number on the side of all of her horses. Like that was,
It was shit. That's
she
a good
went.
idea.
Yeah, like I said, it was a desperation, whatever.
Safety. I mean, if they get out, and you catch them, it's not like they got dog collars on. Horse.
Or horse collars. So, a study found that salmon affected by cocaine contamination swim almost twice as far as unexposed fish. To the surprise of no one who's ever heard the word cocaine.
I'm surprised they don't.
Is that the next movie? We had Cocaine Bear. Now we've got Cocaine Salmon.
I heard Cocaine Salmon too.
I'm surprised they don't swim 3 times as far.
Right. A Chick-fil-A
10 times as fast, right?
As fast.
Twice as far. So they're not faster. They're just to go farther. So a Chick-fil-A employee in Texas is accused of $80,000 worth of a refund scheme involving macaroni and cheese.
Do you manage $80,000 out of one store? Wow.
And just mac and cheese.
Well, it's Chick-fil-A. It's shit's expensive, but they're only open 6 days a week.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, hang on now. Let's say she's scamming $20 a day, and she's working 5 days a week.
Hey, you got it way more than that. Way.
How's she not getting busted if she's?
Depends on how she's doing it. I don't know how she's entered. I don't know. $80,000. Do you want to look this one up and get some details? Are you just impressed with the commitment to the bit?
Impressed with her and super nonplussed with her management, maybe?
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
So, okay. You got to come back. You got to hear this one. I'm going to wait because this one gets better with every word.
Nice.
And I actually heard this one.
Are you using Google or an AI?
I just went into Google before we came on and just typed in like most outrageous news of the week because the actual fucking news was so outrageous. I'm surprised that they didn't mention any actual news stories like President Trump, said some more crazy shit. Like, cause I mean, pound for pound, Trump and a fucking 7-foot alligator jaywalking are pretty goddamn close. Like, right? like on any given day, like, right? So,
Well, like Chronic said, a croc walking down or an alligator walking down the street in Florida, no big deal. But when you put the word jaywalking in there,
apparently it was a busy highway in Hillsborough County, so he was disrupting a lot of things. An Ohio woman bought the wrong lottery ticket by mistake and ended up winning $1.8 million.
Punched in the wrong number?
I don't know, or else she just asked for the wrong ticket.
That's an Ohio idiot for you.
Yeah, right. All right, this one gets better with every word. A 27-year-old professional cornhole player who is a quadruple amputee was arrested for murder in Ohio.
I saw that one.
That fucking story is amazing.
Yes.
Every part of
that. Every part of
everything about that.
It just goes to show you, no matter what, you can succeed at whatever you want to do in America.
The word gumption comes to mind when I hear that headline.
Here I am playing cornhole.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Quadruple. I want to see video of this dude now.
I looked it up after I heard it because I was like, I don't fucking believe that, or
I don't believe anything about this.
Yeah, it's just because that's what I thought. I was like, how do you? I'm like, you got. First of all, I don't agree. I don't agree with violence at all sorts. I don't agree with killing of anything, but way to fucking succeed at something. Like I can't.
I mean,
if
Except
I
for the
had
murder
lost
part.
I
an
mean,
arm,
when you put your mind to it, because that's all you got left.
Great job with the cornhole, not so much with murder. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, right. But yeah, I looked. It was year when it happened. It was a little while ago. I think it was a couple months ago or something. But like I looked it up, and yeah, the dude, it's nuts. That's nuts. I can't believe he got away with it, or not got away with it, but you know, he tried. It wasn't me. It was the no-armed, no-hard-legged man.
I'm just saying, like, you couldn't just like kick them away.
What are you going to bleed on me?
I mean, for real, hey, Stumpy, you know what?
It's
Stop
just
biting
a
my
flesh
fucking
wound.
ankles or some shit. Like, that's just crazy. All right, and just one last one for all the cat lovers. A home security camera in California captures a neighbor's cat successfully fighting off a coyote and fleeing up a tree.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Those cats are fucking be
They're the
badasses,
best.
man. All terrors.
I don't really have anything else for tonight. Penguins are out of the playoffs. The Canes are up 2-0 over Philly, which is good news. I like that.
Yep.
I'm all Canes. I'm all Canes from here on out.
Is this the
Mhm.
second round?
Second round of the playoffs.
Second round. Yep.
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 Is there then a third round and then the conference finals, or how does it
It's
progress?
third round is the conference, I believe. Or
Yeah. And the fourth
be
round
those-
should be the Stanley Cup.
I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds total.
I think it's 4.
4, yeah,
I think it's
to
4.
get to the finals. Either way, still, it's the best sport on
You
television.
guys are my hockey experts. I'm saying now. Come on.
We're not good with numbers, though. We just
Well, which is, and I think that is it, because that's where the Red Wings octopus comes from. Is there were 8 games, 8 arms, 8 games to win, and the 8 games were the 4 wins in the conference, and then the 4 games in the finals.
because you got to have 16 wins. There
16
it is,
wins
right? You got to
total,
win 16
and so-
games to win the cup.
and they were
that
at the
would be-
point where they only needed 8.
So each series, even in round 1, is best of 7.
16 games to get to win the cup. So if you know that. And I haven't been just generally watching. I didn't really see any of the Penguins, so hopefully I can start watching here and check it out because I do dig it.
I watched
Well,
them.
we don't
I-
have to discuss
but-
this right now, but the thing I'm most interested in, and I might make this a writing project, Ken Burns' latest documentary
Yeah.
on the American Revolution. Fantastic, as you can imagine, is Ken Burns.
Yeah, his stuff is great.
Yeah. But so my biggest takeaways are not only was it, of course, the American colonists versus the British, it was also American colonial rebels versus American colonial loyalists. So it was actually a civil war as well. All right. Now you have the colonial rebels who were fighting for independence. All right. At some point, let's say it's halfway through the war, King George says, all right, I'm giving you a 30-day window. Might have been 60 days. Don't quote me on it, but I'm going to say 30. I'm giving you a 30-day window. If you put down your arms and swear re-allegiance to me, I will forgive you of you taking up arms against me. Some people took him up on it. All right. So now they're back to being loyalists for Britain. And now they're on the losing side of the war and they have to live with their fellow colonialists. I mean, that's just got to be so freaking awkward. Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure that's very awkward. And same with like the Civil War, right? Didn't like brothers go off and fight on both sides of the war and then come back for dinner and be like, that's
And then
pretty
I think the
awkward,
coolest
too.
part, on a similar note, so Britain hired some hired guns from Russia. Well, not Russia, Germany, but it wasn't Germany at the time. They were Hessians.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Hessian soldiers, against their will, got shipped to fight on behalf of the British crown.
You make it
course.
sound so bad.
This is the coolest part. Washington defeats them, and he basically wipes out the Hessian troops, the ones that are left. He said, all right, fellow Americans, we have just won this war. These Hessian soldiers, we should forgive. It was not their will to come fight. They had no say-so in it. They were forced to by the crown, and he forgave them. Everybody, and they ended up living amongst the American citizens happily ever after. I thought that was the coolest part.
Yeah.
happily ever after for how long? Like, for a few years, and then there was another war, and then but yeah, that was very cool. And that's a weird line, man. Because are you
I mean,
being
for George Washington to have that wisdom, I think was,
well? I mean, it's either that or you're a butcher. Like, right? Like, you're either that or a butcher. Like, I don't know if there's any two ways about it. What are you gonna do? Put these people in prison? But you either send them fucking home or
send them home.
And by forgiving them or creating that, you kind of you're creating allies and strength within the country.
Yeah, I think benevolence can be very powerful.
Yeah.
It is.
You got to show people. You got to be examples, right? And especially in times like that, like way, 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 way before the internet, like your actions only got seen by the people in front of you. Like they got reported, distorted, and whatever from there on out. So when you had an opportunity to make a real change in front of real people, I guess that still had some power.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's yeah. I don't know. I think you always that's a great example of you get more out of peaceful interactions and with people than you do with violent and mean interactions with people. Not always, of course, but
I feel like violence and war is not conflict resolution; it's the inability to resolve conflict.
Yeah,
for real. Like if you could actually resolve your shit, you wouldn't fucking ever have to bomb anyone. If you could actually just deal with it and sit down and talk and fucking.
That's why we're so lucky to have a president who's such a great deal maker that we don't have. Oh, wait a minute. We are.
All right. See, we are into the satire portion of the evening. Yes, he is so good at everything he's done. In case any of this is being fucking recorded or listened to by Kosh Patel and his drunk ass.
His staring, bulgy eyes.
Yeah, I don't want to get on that fucker's list. I don't give a shit. Good Lord.
Creepy.
The inclusion of him in that Ezekiel 25:17 AI video that I forwarded you, I thought the inclusion of him was brilliant in that.
Yeah.
Did you see him at the White House? Did you watch some of the actual the footage, camera footage from the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
No. Yeah, I did, but I did not see him.
He was he didn't know what to do. He just sat there. Right. Then there was RFK, whose wife is Cheryl Hines. She's an actress. Cheryl. He had 3 dudes around him, nobody looking out for her. But my favorite one, if you haven't seen it, you got to look it up. This fucking guy just sat there and ate his goddamn salad.
I saw video of it, but it was so dark or something. I couldn't isolate him. I couldn't see it.
And that I respect.
Yeah. You paid a lot to be there, probably. It's supposed to be a good salad, a good meal.
If there's a shooter, I'm going to make him shoot me eating my salad. I'm sorry. I'm not running. I'm done with this shit.
Well, as long as he's not next to the president's ear, he's fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's probably in that event, you got to think a person coming in to shoot is not coming in to just randomly shoot people. They're coming in with a specific agenda and people they want to hit. And if you're a guy eating a salad, you're not on that list.
I mean, I'm just
you're safe.
Salad. Exactly.
No, unless it's a random bullet, and then hey, that's fate. That's just it's a bus hitting you crossing the street.
One of my favorite stories of complete nihilism. This guy that I work with on the road quite a bit, Moose. He's a fun kid. He's a fun dude. He's not a kid. Jesus, it's like 40 something. But anyway, he was living in Hawaii. Okay, I don't know if you remember this, how many years ago it was. Remember when there was that ballistic missile attack that came up on people's phones in Hawaii? Like they got the alert.
Yeah.
So he was there for that. He was there. And he said he was sleeping. And he gets his phone, just starts and making all the crazy fucking alert noises. He picks it up and he looks at it and says, incoming ballistic missile attack. And he just all right. And he fucking put the phone down and went back to sleep. And I was like, that's fucking beautiful.
May have told you this one, and it's not going to be funny now, but I'll share it with you.
We'll laugh anyway.
My parents were living at the lake in the community. I'm not going to say the name of the community, but they had a phone notification system for emergencies. And about 3:00 in the morning, the phone rang. My dad answered it, hangs up. My mom said, "What was it?" He said, "It's a tornado alert. They say to take cover." So they did. They pulled the covers over their head. They really thought they were taking cover. They pulled the covers over their head.
Wow, I just lost a little bit of respect for both of your parents.
Yeah, they were in La La Land. They were.
Oh, it's 3:00 in the morning. I get it.
I mean, La La Land, like La La Land. I'm in La La Land. Where I've had a couple of albino
Maybe
penis envy
maybe
mushroom
alcohol.
caps, and
Maybe alcohol.
Wow.
Maybe.
uh,
All right. And on that note,
That's a good.
I'll
note.
say for anybody still listening, here you go. Do the thing, right? What?
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment, and we will we'll do it again next time.
Sounds good.
All right, later.
Peace.
see ya.